Hi friends, welcome to Vermont Stitchy Co. Flosstube number 2. My name is Chelsea. I am the designer, creator, owner of Vermont Stitchy Co. And today is February 12th. You see me looking down, I have my little notes. Today is the 12th and it is a Wednesday. All my floss tubes will be on Wednesdays in the afternoon because I work from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Most days, and so the afternoons are when I will be filming and then uploading my YouTubes. So first thing I want to go over what came on to Etsy this week. On Monday I uploaded this little sweet thing, Be Mine. You can find it on my Etsy shop if you like it, vermontstitchyco.etsy.com. You can find me there along with a few other things as well. So this, I just put it on a piece of cardboard. This is a piece of cardboard because I don't have any sticky board right now, so I used what I had, which was a chewy box, and I cut it up and cut a piece of cardboard, and then I wrapped it around some fabric that I had from a leftover quilt, and then I folded it like a present. You know, when you get at the corners, you fold the corners and it's a diamond, and then you put the diamond up. So I don't know if you can see, but there are little flaps here, and when the two sides came together, it was gross. It was like bumpy, and you could see the hot glue, because all this is plain fine on the back, but I didn't want this side with the hot glue to be on the back because it just wouldn't look good. So I covered the hot glue side with my cross stitch, and this is again a piece of cardboard underneath with one layer of batting that I had from my quilting, and I just put that down, and then hot glued everything down. I like to use hot glue. It's just what I have around, so that's what I use. And it's just a little standy piece. I could have attached a ribbon onto it so that I could hang it if I wanted to, but I didn't. And this allows some freedom because I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it yet. So perhaps I'll put it in a frame or a shadow box, I think they're called, window boxes, shadow boxes, you know, or hang it or attach it to a bigger piece perhaps. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do, but yeah, so I have this here. So this is what came out on Monday on my Etsy shop. And yeah, so you can find that there. So the next thing I want to show you is a finished piece. It's not on Etsy yet. It will be next, actually I will be on Valentine's Day, but I haven't uploaded it yet. But I wanted to show you, and it's not finished. It's this little guy, and you'll notice it's familiar because I have a cat version and then a dog version. So they are little companion pieces. If you have a cat, you can just do the cat. If you have a dog, you can just do the dog. Or if you have both, you can use both. This is stitched on tea-dyed 14 count Aida. I tea-dyed it myself. And then you'll see this one is green. I actually dyed this myself. I did a combination of Rit dye aquamarine and, you'll never guess, but it's turmeric. So I did turmeric, which is a yellow color, and I soaked it in the turmeric for a little bit, and then when it got to the color that I wanted of yellow, I thought, what would happen if I added Rit dye aquamarine? Because I do have Rit dye aquamarine, and I just poured a capful, a little splash, soaked it in for a few minutes, and this is the result. This is the color that came out. I absolutely love this. I don't know if it's reading on camera as green as it is, but it is a really kind of beautiful green color, which I think is amazing. And so yeah, so again, on Valentine's Day, this will be on my Etsy store. this is already in the Etsy store, and I'm hoping to have this finished in a similar fashion to this. It just 2 layers, nothing fancy, because again, I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it, but I'm excited for it to drop. And on the line of dyeing Aida fabric, because I only mess with 14 count Aida, I don't like anything else. I wanted to show you, actually before I do that, I'm going to show you one more thing that I have that will be up in the Etsy shop, probably not this week, but next week, is this, which is a Welsh love spoon. I know the colors are a little difficult to see, but there's a pink and a green there. And a Welsh love spoon, I don't know if you guys know, my aunt, my mother's sister, married a Welsh man. So my uncle is Welsh, born and raised in Cardiff, Wales. And for their wedding, I was maybe 13, and we went to Wales, and they had their wedding there. And for their wedding, the tradition is to give Welsh spoons. It's just a symbol of love and good luck and all that good thing. So I have one of their Welsh spoons from their wedding. It's wooden normally, hence the brown color. But when I was designing this, you couldn't see the crossing colors. It didn't make sense with the brown. So the crossing of the colors I interpret as the 2 families, or the 2 people coming together, and their love is twisting and they're intermingling. And so you couldn't see that when I was designing it with brown. And so I chose green and pink. If I were to do this again, I think I would choose a different color Aida. I again dyed this myself. It's just tea dyed Aida. But because you can't see the pink as well, I don't think I would do it on this again. But if you enjoy this, you can change it to be whatever color you want. And I might, because this only took a few hours to stitch, I'm probably will restitch it on a different color just so the colors can pop, or restitch it with a different green and pink so the colors can pop when I take the pictures on Etsy, because I want them to also pop on the shop as well. So yeah, we'll see about that, but I digress. We were going over colors and dyeing on Aida. So with dyeing on Aida, I just like different colors. As you can see, I like color. And as I mentioned in my first video, you know, my ceiling in this room is aqua, and that wall is green, and that wall is off-white, and this is a pink. I love color. So anytime I can make the Aida that I have a different color, I go for it. It might not be your cup of tea, and that's fine. You don't have to dye it, but I just love to experiment, and yeah, I just love it. So for the puppy one, as I told you before, this is a kind of a green color, a bright green color. You can see there are smudges and stuff. That happens when you're dyeing stuff yourself. It's not uncommon to see, but this is turmeric, just powdered turmeric that you can get from the grocery store, and Rit dye aquamarine, and it came out with this really funky cool color, and I used it. So if at home if you don't have this color, that's fine. You can stitch this on a tea dyed, or you could stitch it on yellow. This is turmeric. This is what turmeric powder will come out to be. And you can see I'm stitching something. So I designed a pattern a few weeks ago for myself. I don't know if I'm going to put it on Etsy, just because I don't know how many people would like to stitch it. You can leave some comments and tell me if you think it would be something you're interested in. But I am designing, or I did design, and now I'm stitching it up, a design for my trip to India. So in November of 2024, which was just a few months ago at this point, My husband and I went to India with my in-laws, just the parents, just my mother-in-law and father-in-law. My husband is Indian. He was born in India, so his parents are obviously Indian as well. And we went just my husband and I and my in-laws for 2 weeks. They stayed longer. But we were there for 2 weeks, and my husband has been to India before. It was my first time. Very crazy. A lot of stuff we saw, but it is going to be of things that I saw that really stick in my mind. So that we were there for Diwali, which is the celebration of lights. And so this is the Ganges River. This is going to be a monkey. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but it's a monkey. There are going to be some elephants because we saw a lot of elephants. Elephants are used in their wedding celebrations, so they were decorated there, and the elephants will have decoration on mine. We went to see the Taj Mahal. That was like one of the first things we saw, and it was absolutely stunning and gorgeous. So I'm going to have that on here, and some fireworks, which didn't happen then, but it's the illusion of lights. They had light shows on the Ganges, and we were on the Ganges for Diwali celebration, and they had like laser shows and stuff, so it was really fun. So that's what the fireworks are going to be. It's a representation of that. But I thought it fitting, because my husband is Indian and we were in India and this is an Indian design. I thought this is what got me into the turmeric dyeing, is because I know turmeric is used for yellow to dye fabric, and so I thought, well, why not this? Why not Aida fabric? So my husband had some in the cupboard because we use it for Indian food, and I stole it. And I just poured a bunch of powdered turmeric into the boiling pot of water. I do boil the water, then I put just because I have it, I had put apple cider vinegar in. You can use regular vinegar if you have it. I don't have white vinegar, so I just use what I have. A small splash of apple cider vinegar, let that boil for a little bit, then I put the white plain Aida fabric in that boiling apple cider water concoction, let that boil for a little bit, and then I put the color on. I have experimented before, especially with the tea dyes. If I don't let it soak in that apple cider vinegar mixture, for whatever reason, it doesn't soak up the water, the color as well. And so I've learned that if you just boil that for a few minutes, let it the fabric itself, the plain white fabric, boil in that apple cider vinegar water mixture, and then put the color in. The color will soak up and cling to it a lot better. So I was able to get this brilliant yellow color. If I didn't want it as yellow, you don't need to soak it for as long. I think I let this soak for 30 minutes maybe, just to be extra sure that it would soak up that color. I let it boil for a little while with the turmeric in it and this, and then I turn it off and then let it just sit and steep. And then after, as long as I want it to, and then if I like I pull it out, put the oven on 175. I bake at 175, which is the lowest my oven setting will go. And then I set it in the oven to bake at 175 until it's dry. So I'll check it periodically. I think it's about 15 minutes maybe. And then I'll check it. If it's dry, then I'll pull it out. If it still needs more time, I'll just let it sit in there. But I don't think it takes more than 15 to 20 minutes. So that's how I got this beautiful yellow color. And we've seen, this is the turmeric plus, you can kind of see the yellow in there. Let's move the yellow so it's not. You can see a little bit of touches of yellow, and that's the beautiful thing about dyeing fabric at home, is you can get these unique, beautiful, so you can see it's more yellow on this side, beautiful colors, and then you can pick which side you like the best and use it. So again, this is turmeric first, then a splash of Rit Dye Aquamarine. I let it just be in there for as long, kept lifting it out with some tongs and going, I don't like that color. Put it back in, lifted it out until I liked the color. Then I put it in the oven at 175 and baked it until it's, because it helps that set, the color set. So it's not on my fingers, it's set in here. So that's greeny color. This one, so you can see the difference. I don't know if it's reading all that well, but the top one is a little darker than the bottom, and that's because this is when I realized, oh, I need to boil in apple cider vinegar for a little bit before I add the color. So this tea dyed, it's just black tea, but it's darker because I figured out the method. So that's why this one is so much darker. And then this one, I don't know if it's coming across. In person, this is a green color. So this is a lighter green, this is a darker green. On my camera, it looks a little bit, brown, but in person it's green. And this is Rit Dye Aquamarine plus tea dyed. I mixed the two because when I was tea dyeing it, it wasn't getting as dark as I wanted it to be. It was before I was really really got the handle on it, so it didn't get as dark as this. It was more this color, this lighter color. So I was getting frustrated, as you do sometimes, and it wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to. So I decided, well, what would happen if I just added the Rit Dye Aquamarine? People, oh my God, words are hard today. Oh, it's been a long work day. So what would happen if I added to the tea dye Rit Dye Aquamarine? And this is the result I got. I just kept pulling it out going, this is not the color I like, this is not the color I like, until I got what I wanted. And this one took a lot more aquamarine as compared to this one. This plus yellow, you didn't need a lot to get green. But with a brown, in order to get a dark green, I needed to put a lot more Rit Dye. So I think this was 2 or 3 capfuls of the Rit Dye. But yeah, so this I'm excited to use. I have a few patterns that I've got available that are sitting in the wings because we're almost at March, but not quite there. But I need to start getting ready so that I can upload and start posting on my Etsy shop page for March stuff. So these two will definitely be used for March. So be on the lookout in March for some. I'm trying not to do a lot of, well, one, I don't really celebrate St. Patrick's Day. I just figured out that I do have Irish in me, ancestry. Yeah, so it's just not something that I celebrate. So, but I know there are people out there who do like to celebrate Irish heritage. And so I have 2 patterns so far, one kind of leprechaun adjacent, and then one that celebrates Celtic knots, or Celtic. I say Celtic knots. And that's where this one came from, because I was thinking, oh, Celtic knots, Celtic heritage, you know, Welsh heritage has this, let's, you know, put this out there too. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping to stitch that up in the next week or 2, but I really want to get this this one done. This one's for me. It's, again, I don't know if anybody's going to be interested in stitching it, so I think I'll just make this for me and do this on my downtime. So I'm hoping it won't take too long. Like the Taj Mahal is going to be big. It's going to be like real big and take up this space here. The elephants are going to be down here. There are going to be some boats too, because on the Ganges River there are boats, and we were on a boat to see the lights and the light show. So I think that'll be nice. Okay, and then taking a little step to the side, I know we are at our 20-minute mark and I don't want to go too much over, but I mentioned in the first video that I quilt. I like to quilt. It's what I do. You can see this is mine. I think this is called reverse applique, if memory serves. I do free motion quilting as well. It's something that I find very meditative. So that's my free motion quilting. And what you do is you put 2 layers of fabric down, batting, and a backing. You do whatever designs you want, and then you take a I want to call it a straight razor. What is it called? When you pick stitches out. I know you guys are yelling at me right now. Anyways, and you cut out between layer 1 and 2 of the fabric, you cut just that top layer off. Be careful of the second layer, and you reveal images underneath the first layer, and that's how you get that. But because it's Valentine's Day, I did this little wall hanging. I'm not gonna get up and stuff, but I did this. This is a wall hanging. This is not a quilt. It's a wall hanging. It's just 2 pieces of fabric, nothing, no batting in the middle, but it is hearts, and then at the very bottom is a tree. So it's just a tree of hearts. And I have one also for springtime, which has butterflies. The tree is very similar. It's the same fabric I use for both trees because I wanted some consistency. But instead of hearts, there are butterflies on that one. But this is just applique. I cut out from a charm square, which is a 5-inch square, hearts. And then I try not to waste fabric. So if I had any extra fabric, I would do little hearts of different colors, and that's how I got these little hearts down here as well. Again, I don't want to waste fabric, so I took the charm squares and I just straight stitched them down. Normally I'm a fan of zigzagging, but with all of these hearts I was like, I don't have time for that. So I just straight stitched. Again, no batting inside. This is made specifically to be a wall hanging, so I didn't need to worry about it being washed very often, so a straight stitch worked. And so it's hanging in at the top of my stairs, so when I come upstairs it makes me very happy because I have a little tiny wall area where I switch out my ornaments and seasonal things. So I've got Valentine's Day down right now with that quilt, and then I don't really have anything for March. I suppose I should, but I do put spring up. So I kind of allow Valentine's Day to go into March, and then I move right into springtime about mid-March. But yeah, okay everybody, thank you. I know this is a little bit longer than before, but thank you for sticking with me. I really appreciate all of those of you who have subscribed. I hope you enjoyed this. For you newcomers, thank you for sticking with me through the end of this video. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions for me about cross-stitching, dyeing any Aida fabric, please leave them in the comments. I do check the comments and more than happy to answer them either in real time or I can answer them in next Wednesday's video. If you have any questions about my quilting or the quilt itself, please let me know. Happy to answer quilting questions as well. But please like and subscribe to my video. Follow me on Etsy, and view my stuff, Vermont Stitchy Co, that's one word, .etsy.com, and I'm also on Instagram at Vermont Stitchy Co, that's all, again, one word, no underscores or anything, just Vermont Stitchy Co. And I really enjoy this time. Let's build this community because I super enjoy talking to you guys, and I hope you enjoyed what I show and tell. That's what I did today. I hope you enjoyed my show and tell. I really appreciate you guys. Love you. Thank you so much. Bye, friends.